Hi students, welcome to our channel Parallax. My name is Pallabi. In this video, we will be discussing question number 4, 5, 6 and 7 of paper number 0580 Extended Mathematics of Cambridge IGCSE. Paper number is 4-1 and it is the May-June 2019 paper. You can find the link for the video containing question number 1, 2 and 3 in the description section of this video. So let's start with question number 4. This is a statistics question. As you can see, the test scores of 14 students are shown below. These are the test scores which are given. Find the range, mode, median, and mean of the test scores. So let's start with the range. How do we define range or how do we find the range? Range is the highest minus the lowest value, right? So the highest value over here is 27. The lowest is 20. So simply the range will be 27 minus 20, which is 7. Let's talk about the next average which we have to find, which is mode. Mode means the number which is appearing maximum number of times. So if you look at the data over here, the number 21 occurs 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is the maximum. Therefore, the mode of the data is 21. There is another way to find out the mode. We will discuss that shortly. Now moving on to the next average, which is median. Now for this, there is a very important step which most of the students miss out, which is you have to rearrange the data in ascending order. So let's do that first. So we have 20 and also another thing, we will be making a table side by side, right? So let's make a table on this side. I will tell you why we are doing this because it will be essential. Trust me on this. So you have, let's say this is X, that is the data. This is F, which is the frequency. Then we will make X into F, which is the multiplication of the data with the frequency. Let's keep these 3 columns for the time being. Now you have, we start with 20, right? So let's write down 20. How many times is 20 occurring? It is just once. So frequency is 1. Frequency is the number of time a given data or a given data point appears. So XF will be 20. 21 is occurring 5 times. We already discussed that. So frequency of 21 is 5. So 21 times 5, over here we get 105 as the XF value. You can also make the table as part of your answer. Moving on, the next data point is 22. Let's see how many times 22 is appearing. It is only once. So the frequency is 1 and this is 22 itself. Next point which we have is 23, which appears thrice, 1, 2, and 3. So we have 23, which appears 3 times, and this becomes 69. Next point is 24, appearing only once. So it's 24, 25 again once, 25, and 26 and 27 also appear only 1 time each. So the XF value also comes out to be 26 and 27. Let's add up the frequencies. It should come to 14 because the total number of students are 40. So let's see if that is coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 9 plus 5 is 14. So the total of, so this is the summation of frequency is 14. Let's write that down over here. So we have, yes, we will come back to median as well. So summation of frequency is 14 and we have to do the summation of this XF term as well. Let's see what is that coming up to be. So we add the terms 20 plus 105 plus 22 plus 69 plus 24 plus 25, 26, and 27. So we have added all these terms. Let's just check once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. So we have 318 as the summation of XF, right? Okay. Now let's rearrange the given data. So the given data can be rearranged like this. I'm writing it over here. So this will be 20. Then you have 21 written 5 times. Then you have 22, which is written just once. 23, which is written 3 times. Now you see how easy this has become when I have made the table. 24, 25, 26, and 27 each are written just once. Now this is a data set of 14 points. We have to calculate the median. Median means the middle value, right? So what will be the middle value or the middle term over here? So in total there are 14 terms. The middle term will be the 7th and the 8th term, right? Let's check what is the 7th term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our 7th term is 21 and 8th term is 22. So median can be calculated as 21 plus 22, the whole thing divided by 2. That is the mean of the middle terms. And that is equal to 43 by 2, which is equal to 22.5. That is the value of median. Now suppose this was an even set of data given to you. What if an odd set of data is given? Then how will you calculate the median? Let's say, for example, you have 5, 6, 4, 3, 2. And the question says to calculate the median of this data. So what will you do? You will be first arranging the data in ascending order. So this becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now these are odd number of terms, right? So the middle number or the middle term will be 4 over here. You see 2 terms to the left, 2 terms to the right. So the median comes out to be 4. That would be the answer in case the data is odd. It's easy to find, isn't it? If the data is even, then this is what you have to do. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next part. So now we have the next question, which is a student is chosen at random. So remember, there are 14 students total. Find the probability that this student has a test score of more than 24. So let's see how many students have got scores which is more than the number 24. 1, 2, 3. And what is the total number of students? 14. So the probability comes out to be 3 by 14. How do we know that? Let's first quickly describe what do we mean by probability. So probability means it is the total number of possible outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. So number of possible outcomes. We may not write it as total, but we will write number of possible outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. That gives you the probability of any outcome which you have to find. So in this case, the probability that a student has scored more than 24 has to be found. That means there are 3 people who have scored more than 24 out of total number of people, which is 14. So the probability becomes 3 by 14. Moving on to the next question, we have Petra records the score in each test she takes. The mean of the first n scores is x. Now remember how we have described mean. Mean means the total number, that is you sum all the data. So summation of that data which you have divided by the number, right? That gives you the value of mean. So mean of the first n scores. So there are n scores total. So the number is n and this is the total. The total divided by the number n gives you the mean and the mean is given as x. That means what is the total of these n scores? The total is nx, right? This is where you start the question. So the mean, so how will you write down this question? Let me write it down over here for you. So you will start by writing mean is equal to x, number of scores is n. Therefore, the total is equal to nx, right? That is how we get nx. Then what happens is, so this was the total of, so the total comes out to be nx, and that was the total of n number of scores, right? If this is n, then the total is nx, right? Nx is the total of n number of scores. Then comes the second statement, which is the mean of the first n minus 1. That means just one score less than n, right? So now the number is n minus 1, right? We are leaving out the last term, right? There are n terms and now there are n minus 1 terms. So we have left out the last term. So n minus 1 terms, if there are n minus 1 terms, then the mean is x plus 1. So what is the total then? Same formula, the total of n minus 1 terms will be how much? Total divided by n minus 1 is mean. Mean is given as x plus 1. So the total will be n minus 1 times x plus 1, right? So let me write that down again. Mean of n minus 1 terms is given as x plus 1. That is, mean is x plus 1, terms is n minus 1. Therefore, the total, again, the same point. Therefore, the total is equal to n minus 1 times x plus 1. So this is the total of n minus 1 terms. Remember, we are leaving out the nth term here, right? So now what do we have? We have the total of n terms. That is what will be the sum of all n terms, which is nx, minus, if we subtract the sum of n minus 1 terms, which is n minus 1 times x plus 1, then what are we left with? That is the value of the nth term, isn't it? That is equal to the nth term. So you have to find this value. You have to find the value of the nth score in terms of n and x. So let's solve this equation. So you get nx minus n multiplied by x, again nx, again another minus n, then you have a plus x, and a minus into minus is plus, so a plus 1. This is equal to nth term. Let me write down term over here so that there is no confusion. This is the nth term which we are calculating. So nx and nx get cancelled and you are left with x minus n plus 1, which is your answer. So this was just for your explanation, just to make you understand. No need to write all this. You can just write down the part which I have now written down in black, right? Moving on to the next part. Now we have, during 1 year, the midday temperatures T degrees Celsius in Z4 are recorded. The table shows. So this is temperature, number of days is this. That means whenever you are given a range like this, let's find out the middle values. We'll see why that is important. So the middle value over here is 5. Over here it is 12.5. I hope you understand how I'm finding out the middle value, right? It is, if you do not know how to do this, there is a way, which is you can just add the two terms, divide by 2. So suppose I have to find the middle value of 15 and 20. What is the middle value? I'll add 15 plus 20, 35 divided by 2, which is 17.5. Again, 20, I'm doing the next part, which is 20 plus 25 divided by 2, which is 22.5. This will be 27.5. Another method of doing this is, you know that the difference is 5. So the middle number will always be 10 to 15. There is 5. There are 5 numbers in between. So the middle number will be 2.5. So therefore it will be 12.5. Everywhere it is over apart from the first data, remaining all is 5. So it will be 2.5 only. Okay, so you can use any way which you want to understand this. Now the number of days is given as 50, 85, 100, 120 and 10. You have to estimate the mean. So how do we find out the mean? The mean will be, again, we will make use of the same table which we made. So we will try to make another table here. So let's quickly do that. And we will put serial number also this time so that we don't have to count the numbers, right? Okay, we'll just keep these 4 points, these 4 columns, and moving on with the table. So let's write down, give the heading as this will be the serial number, this will be the data X, this will be frequency, this will be frequency times X, right? Now let's see what it is. So you have 1, the data over here will be what? So the number of days is 50. Remember, 5 occurs how many times? 50. So 5 into 50 is 250. Similarly, you have 12.5, 85 times. So 12.5 into 85 will be how much? 12.5 times 85, which is equal to 1062.5. Let's write that down. 0.5. Then we have 17.5, and that is multiplied by 100. So you get 1750 because there's a point there. Then you have 22.5 multiplied by 120, and you will get a 2700 for 22.5 and 120. And you have a 27.5, which is multiplied by 10. This was simple, which will be 275. So 10 and 27.5. Serial numbers are, there are 5, right? 5 data given to us. Okay. XF done, F done, X done. So what will be the mean? Mean is given as the summation of XF over the summation of F, right? That is, if you add this, so let's quickly add this. So we have 275 plus 2700 plus 1750 plus 1062.5 plus a 250. So the total comes out to be 6037.5. Let's write that down over here, 6037.5. Let's add up the frequencies as well. So what do we get? 50 plus 85 plus 100 plus 120 and a 10. So we get a 365. Let's see, let's check. Yeah, it is 365. So let's keep it as 365. This is the summation, right? Okay. So what will this value be? So we divide 6037.5 divided by 365 and you get 16.541. The value of the mean comes out to be approximately 16.54 or 16.61. That's up to you to round it off. Let's clear this. Right. So this is how you calculate the mean. Now we have to complete the histogram to show the information in the table. Remember, frequency density is given over here. So you need to know how to calculate the frequency density. That is very important. So let's check out how it has been calculated. Suppose you do not remember the formula. Then what will you do? So there is a 10 to 15 interval. So there is an interval of 5 over here, degrees Celsius. And the frequency density comes out to be, so each of these squares is 1. So this is 16, this becomes 17, right? So it's a 17 when it is 10 to 15, right? How do we get that? So you see this is 10 to 15 interval which we are talking about. So it's 5. 15 minus 10 is 5. So how do we calculate? 15 minus 10, which is 5. That 5 you divide by 85. So 85 divided by 5, which gives you a 70. That's how you got the frequency density of 17 for 10 to 15 intervals. So this is 17. Remember, we have to complete the histogram. Histogram means the bars will be touching each other, right? Let's try to find out the frequency density of the first one. So it is 10 and this is 0. That means it's 10 and it is 50. So it is 50 divided by 10, which is 5. So the frequency density of the first one will be 5, which is 0 to 10 will be 5. So let's make the graph it will be something like this, right? And let's say this is how we are shading it. So this is how we make the histogram, the first part, the first bar, right? So we will have to erase this because I will just make it again in a proper manner. So this is how our graph looks like. We need the data as well, right? So our first point will be 5. 10 to 5, 0 to 10 is 5. Let's talk about the next point. So the next point is 15 to 20, again 5, and there is 100. So it will be 100 by 5, which is 20. So the next data will come on at 20. 20 means over here. And it will be from 15 to 20. So how will you make the bar? So it will be at 20 and it will be from 15 to 20. So first let's make a line at 20. This is where you stop. This is where you stop and you join this, right? So you join this. This is your graph for the next data, which is at 20, you get 15 to 20. Let's talk about the next one, which is 20 to 25, again 5. So you divide this by 5. What do you get? 5 2s are 10, 2 0, 4. So it should be 24. 24 means each of these two boxes is 1, right? So 24 will be somewhere over here, the second last line. And that will be from 20 to 25. So 20 to 25 will be 24. That means it will be the second last box. So let's first make the line from 25. It will go up till the second last box. And you will join this line. Let's join it properly so that there is no mistake here. So you will join from 20. You will join it like this. This is what we get for the next set. Next one is 25 to 35 and the interval is 10. So again 10 divided by, so 25 to 35 is again 10. This time it is 25 to 35, which is 10, right? So when you divide that, what do you get? 10 divided by 10. So it is a 1. Okay. 1 means we will be making over here. This is our 1 and it is all the way from 25 to 35. Let's go back to the question which we already solved. Let's see if we have done the calculation over here correctly. So 25 plus 35, yeah, it is 25 plus 35 divided by 2. I hope we have done this correctly. Let's just check once. Because it should come to be 30, right? Why we should not write 27.5 here, it should be 30 over here. So I'm just checking that once to avoid any mistake which we must have made. So 25 plus 35, 60 divided by 2 should give you a 30. So instead of 27.5, please make a correction here. This should be 30 because it's again a 10 number of days. The interval over here is, the temperature interval is 10 and not 5. So if this is 30, then our changes have to be made in the table over here as well. So if that is 30, then this will become, so you have, instead of 27.5, it will be a 30. And 30 into 10 will not be 275, but it will be a 300, right? So this is 30 and this is 10 and it is a 300. So that means you will have to increase again. It will increase. This one, this data is also wrong because the last point, that is the summation, will also change. The summation over here will now be, let's do that again so that we don't make a mistake here. So we have 250 plus 1067.5 plus 1750 plus 2700 plus 300. So you get a 6067.5 that you divide by 365 and you get a 16.62. So earlier we were getting a 16.54. This will be approximately 16.62. So the answer is 16.61. It's almost similar, but yes, there was minor error because of that. Okay, moving on. I hope the histogram part is clear. So you have to complete the histogram. Don't forget, this will also be made. This has to be made and this also has to be made, right? That is how we complete it. Now moving on to the next question. So we have question number 5 given to us, where you have a data which is a figure which is looking like this, and this is the surface of a garden pond, and it is made from a rectangle and two semicircles. Now this is where you need to be alert. So when it says semicircles, that means, and there are two semicircles, that means you can join them and make a circle, right? Keep that in mind. The rectangle measures 3 meters by 1.2 meters. That means the length is 3 meter, breadth is or width is 1.2. So what will be the area? Area of the surface. So area of the surface means you have to find the area of the rectangle first, which will be 3 times 1.2. The answer will be in meters square. Let's do that first. So it will be 3 times 1.2, which is 3.6 meters square. Why do we do that? Because area of a rectangle is given as length times breadth, right? Area is given as length times breadth. So area of the rectangle plus area of the circle. Now, why am I saying circle? There are two semicircles here. I'm joining them to make a circle. What will be the radius of this circle? So over here you have 1.2 meters. So the radius will be 0.6 meters. That is half of that. This is the diameter. So this is the radius, right? So you have a circle which has 0.6 meters as the radius. What will be the circle's area? How do you find the area of a circle? Area of a circle is given as pi r square. R stands for radius over here. So what do we do? Let's find out. This is 3.6 plus pi, which is 3.14, times r, which is 0.6, and square of that, right? So this comes out to be 3.6 plus 3.14 times 0.6 into 0.6 will be 0.36. You can use the calculator as well to find that out. So you have a 3.14 times 0.36 plus 3.6. Let's see if we have done this correctly. We get a 4.734, right? 4.730. So we will round it off. So it will come out to be 4.73. So we write it as 4.73, right? That is the area of the entire garden pond. That is the area of the base of the garden pond, right? Now the pond is a prison and the water in the pond has a depth of 20 centimeters. So this 4.73 is given in meters, right? Meter square. So do not forget, if the depth is 20 centimeters, you need to convert it into meters, or you have to convert the entire thing into centimeters. Let's see what we will do, which will be beneficial for us. So it says that calculate the number of liters of the water in the pond. So 1 liter, how do you calculate? It is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. That means, and centimeter cube means we are calculating the volume here, because the area will come in centimeter square. You multiply that with the height or the depth, and you will get the answer in centimeter cube, right? So the area of the base is already 4.73 meters square. If you have to convert this into centimeter, how will you do that? That is the first trick, or that is the first tricky element of this question. So let's do that first. So you have 4.73 meters square, right? Meter square. Now what is the meaning of this meter square? 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So what will 1 meter square be? It will be 100 into 100 centimeters square, isn't it? That means 4.73 meters square will be 47300. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 zeros. The point will shift to the right 4 times. So 473 and 2 zeros. That is what we will get as the surface area now in centimeter square. So this becomes the surface area, and you have the depth given already, which is 20. So you have to calculate the volume. What does the volume come out to be? Let's calculate quickly. So we will write it down. 1 liter is this. Therefore, volume is equal to 4.73 meter square times 20 centimeter, which you can elaborate as 47300 times 20, right? What does that come out to be? Let's check. So 47300 times 20 comes out to be 946 and 3 zeros centimeter cube, right? This is the volume which we need to find, but we have to give the answer in liters. Now we know that 1 liter is 1000 centimeter cube. So X, or how many liters, will be 946,000 centimeter cube. How do we do these questions? We cross multiply and we divide. So 946,000 is equal to 1000 times X, or X comes out to be 946 liters, and that's your answer. That is how you will write down the answer over here. So if you want me to write this down, it will be like this. 1 liter, you can write this statement over here. 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. Therefore, 946,000 centimeter cube will be equal to 946 liters. That's all. That is all you need to write. After the rainfall, the number of liters of water in the pond is 1007. So now it was already 946. Now it has increased to 1007. So what is the increase in liters? So you will write like this: increase in liters is 1007 minus 946. Let's see how much is the increase. It is 1007 minus 946, which is equal to 61 liters, right? Calculate the increase in the depth of the water. So now 61 liters, this is the volume. So you already have the surface area and you have the volume. Now you have to find the depth. That means 61 liters. First, let's convert it into centimeter cube. Now we have already discussed that. Still, to make you more comfortable with it, we know that 1000 centimeter cube is 1 liter. So X, that is unknown, centimeter cube will be equal to 61 liters. So we are converting the liters into centimeter cube. So when you cross multiply, you get X is equal to 61,000. So our answer over here, that is the volume, becomes this is equal to 61,000 centimeter cube, right? That part clear? Now we have the volume with us. Volume is what? Volume is equal to the base area, which we have already, times the depth, right? That's how you will get the volume. And we have to calculate the depth. So let's write down 61,000, which is your volume, is equal to the base area. So the base area was 47300. 473. Everything is in centimeter and centimeter square and centimeter cube, so that we get the depth in centimeters as well, which has been asked in the question. So this comes out to be 47300 times the depth, which we need to calculate. So our depth comes out to be 61,000 divided by 47300. This is equal to our depth, and you cancel these two. So you are getting, let's check. So what do we get? 610 divided by 473, and we get a 1.28 centimeters. So that will be the increase in the depth when the volume increased by 61 liters in that pond. Moving on to the next question. Now we have this 6. This is given, a set is given already. These are the number of students who are in a school, the total number. That is 240 students is total. Out of the 240, 120 play football. So 120 play football total, right? This whole circle is 120. But out of this 120, you have 40 students who play, 90 students who play football. 90 play football, that means 30 play basketball and football, right? 90 play football but not basketball. So out of the 120, you omit this 30 part, which is playing basketball, which are the students who play basketball. So it will be just 90. 30, and similarly 40 students play baseball. So not basketball, it's baseball. So you have 10 over here. So total is 40. 30 plus 10, total 40 students who play baseball, total 120 students who play football, and only 90 who play just football, not baseball, right? The total number of students is 240. This is 240. So the number of students which are left out are 110 outside. How do we get that? You just add this. So 90 plus 30, which is 120, 120 and 10, which is 130. You subtract 240, which is the total, minus the students who play something. That gives you 110. So this is 110. The students who do not play anything, but are there in the school. So this is how the Venn diagram is represented. Now you have to find the set which is not F. F complement means not F. So which are the parts which are not F? We have 10 over here of baseball, right? So we have 10 and also we have 110, right? Which is not F. Intersection of not B. So which are the parts which are not B? We have 90 and we have 110. I hope you're understanding this. Parts which are not B. So I'll just show one of them. I'll just show how the not B or the B complement is written like this. So B is 40, right? 30 plus 10. So this is your B, the whole thing. What is not B? 90 and 110. So that's how I got a not B. Okay. Moving on. It says intersection. Intersection means what are the common number of students. So you see in both of these points which we have written, 110 is common. So 110 is the answer for this part of the question. So your answer comes out to be 110 because it asks intersection, which means the common part. Now, the next question. A student in the school is chosen at random. Find the probability that this student plays baseball, but not football. So baseball, not football means we are talking about these 10 students. So what will be the probability? Again, by the same definition of probability, that is number of possible outcomes, 10 by total number of outcomes. So it says a student in school is chosen as at random. So the total number of students is 240. So this will be 10 by 240 and that will be your answer. Moving on. Two students who play baseball are chosen at random. Find the probability that they both also play football. So now here, conditional probability comes into picture. So we have two students who play baseball. So baseball, what is the total number of students in baseball? There are 40. Out of these 40, you are choosing two, right? So this is how you write the students who play baseball. This will be the denominator. And you have to find that they also play football. So how many students who are playing football and baseball together? There are 30, right? Because the student who is playing football also has to play baseball. So that means 30C2 will be out of the students who play football and baseball, 2 students are chosen and the total number of students are 40C2. This is what you have to do. Now, you can use your calculator. You can go under the math section and find out NCR and do that. Okay, you can put the value of N as 30. So NCR, this is how the combinations are written. You can put that and find out the answer. If you are not able to do that, then I'm going to show you how to do the calculation, right? So NCR. So let's talk about NCR now. So if you have NCR, how is it written? It is written like this. You have any value n factorial by r factorial times n minus r factorial. This is how you solve it. Factorial means what? So if you have a 2 factorial, it means 2 into 1 factorial. Okay, let me show it a little bit in a proper manner. So if it is 3 factorial, it will be 3 into 2 factorial and so on. Okay, using the same logic, let's try out this question. So you have 30C2. That means using the formula, n is 30. So it will become 30 factorial by 2 factorial and 30 minus 2, which is 28 factorial. That becomes 30C2. This is 30C2. Let's solve it a little bit more. So you have 30 times 29 times 28 factorial by 2 factorial is nothing but 2 because 1 factorial means 1. So 2 times 28 factorial and you can cancel this out. So you are left with 30 times 29 by 2. That is your 30C2. Similarly, 40C2 will be 40 factorial by 2 factorial again, and this will be 40 minus 2, which is 38 factorial. Opening this, 40 times 39 times 38 factorial upon 2 factorial is 2 itself times 38 factorial. This gets cancelled. Now you need to divide these two, right? 30C2 by 40C2. So what happens? 30 times 29 by 2 divided by 40 times 39 by 2. So the 2 gets cancelled out. So what are you left with? You are left with, let's write it down, let's calculate. So you have a 30 times 29, which is 870 on top, and you have 40 times 39, which is 1560 as the denominator. And that's how you arrive at this answer. Let's move on to the last question of this video. That is the 7th question. It's not the last question of the paper, although. So you have S given as UT plus half AT square. This is the formula which is given to you. Find S when T is 26.5, U and A. All the values are given. You just have to find S. So let's substitute. So S is equal to U, which is 104.3, and multiplied by T, which is 26.5, plus half times A, which is minus 2.2, times T, which is 26.5 square. Now what I like is, I like simplifying it before I put it in the calculator. So I have a 104.3 times 26.5 plus, I will cancel out this 2 from here, it becomes 1.1, and I will put the negative sign instead of this. So there's a negative sign, I'll make the whole thing negative. There's a plus and there's a minus, right? So I'll make it minus. Minus 1.1 times 26.5 square. If you do not understand it, you can straight away put the whole value in the calculator. No problem there. So let's plug in the value now. So you get 104.3 times 26.5, which gives you a 2763.95. And that has to be subtracted. So that has to be subtracted from, I'll put a bracket here, which is 1.1 times another bracket, 26.5 bracket close, square bracket close, equal to 19. So I hope you understood what I did here. So the whole thing, the answer, you can get the direct answer from the calculator itself. It will be 1991.47. 1991.47. And the question says to give your answer in standard form, correct to 4 significant figures. That means you move it 1, 2, 3. 3 places and it's a 1, 4, so it will remain 1. So 1.991 times 10 to the power 3, that will be your standard form answer. Moving on to the next part, which says you have to rearrange the formula to write A. So you have to make A the subject. How do you do that? S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So we will go stepwise here. So you take the UT on the other side. When that happens, it becomes S minus UT, right? UT is together, so you will not make any changes between U and T. It will be considered together because they're multiplied together. So this comes out to be half AT square. Now you move the 2 on the other side. So this becomes 2 and 2 will be multiplied with the whole thing. Why are we multiplying the 2? Because it was in division with this, right? A by 2. It was by 2. So you're moving the 2 on the other side. So it becomes multiplication. We have to find A. So now we will move the T square also to the other side. Now this time T square is in multiplication with A. So it will become division when it goes to the other side upon T square, and that's your answer. Moving on. Next, the difference between the areas of two rectangles is given as 62 centimeters square. So first thing which we need to know is how to find the area of a rectangle. It is length times breadth. So let's see. We will write down this same equation. We will write this in the form of an equation. So the first area is x minus 1 times 2x plus 3. Second one is x plus 1 times x minus 2. The first one is the bigger, second one is the smaller, according to the diagram, right? So, and the difference between them is 62. That means x minus 1 times 2x plus 3 minus x plus 1 times x minus 2 is equal to 62. Let's solve it. So you get x into 2x, which is 2x square, plus 3 into x, which is 3x, minus 2x, minus 3. And over here you have a minus x square, minus 2x and a minus outside. So it will become plus 2x, minus x, and a plus 2 is equal to 62. So this comes out to be 2x square minus x square, which is x square. You have a 3x over here and a 2x, sorry, 3x minus 2x, which is x. And you have 2x minus x, which is again x. So you add both of them, you get a 2x, right? So again, I'll repeat, 3x minus 2x is x. And 2x minus x is also x. You add both of them, so you get 2x. So I'm adding the like terms now. Then I'm left with minus 3 and a plus 2. So it gives a minus 1, which is equal to 62. If I bring the 62 also on this side, I get x square plus 2x minus 1 minus 62, which is equal to 0 because I've got the 62 on the other side. So this comes out to be x square plus 2x minus 63 is equal to 0. And that's my answer. That is what I have to prove. Next part, you have to factorize this. So remember, this is a middle term factor, right? So 63, how can you write down 63 in terms of prime factors? 63 goes with 7, 7 9s is 63, 3, 3 and 3, 1. This is how we prime factorize any number. So 63 can be written as 7 times 3 times 3 or 7 times 9. 9 minus 7 also gives you a 2, right? Therefore, and you have to get a plus 2 here. That means you have to get, these two have to multiply to give a negative 63. That means it can be 9 times minus 7 to get a negative 63. And when you subtract them, that is when you add 9 and minus 7, you're getting a plus 2 as well. So this completely satisfies. Therefore, it becomes x square plus 9x minus 7x minus 63. Or you take x common from the first two terms, you're left with x plus 9. You take minus 7 common, you're again left with x plus 9. Because 63 and 7, when you divide, you get a 9. So it becomes x minus 7 times x plus 9. And that's your answer. Moving on, solve the equation. Now you have to solve it to find the difference between the perimeters of the two rectangles. So you have x minus 7 and you have x plus 9. I have already factorized it. So I'm using from the second part, right? Is equal to 0. This can be written like this, right? So you're getting two values of x. X is equal to 7 and x is equal to minus 9. That is, now if you go back to this, can x be minus 9? Then this length will come as a negative. That's not possible, right? So the only value of x which you can take will be 7. So if you take x as 7, taking x as 7, what do you get? The width of this rectangle as 6 and the length becomes 2 into 7, which is 14 plus 3, which is 17. So 6 and 17. And over here you get 7 plus 1, which is 8 and 7 minus 2, which is 5. So it's 8 and 5 and 6 and 17. So what will be the perimeters then? So the perimeter will be 17 plus 6 times 2. Let's do that. You have 17. You add a 6 to it. Times it with 2. Not 23, 2. So you get a 46. So the perimeter of the first rectangle, how do you find that? You will write it like this. 7 minus 1, which is 6. Width. And length is how much? Length is 2 into 7. 14 plus 3, which is 17. So the perimeter of the first rectangle will be 46, which is 23 times 2, which is 46. Similarly, perimeter of second rectangle will be how much? Now you have 8 and 5. So x plus 1 and x minus 2. So 7 plus 1 is 8, which is the length. You will write down the length as this. And 7 minus 2, which is 5, is the width. So the perimeter comes out to be 8 plus 5, which is 13, times 2, which is 26. So what do you need to find? You need to find the difference between the two perimeters. That will be 46 minus 26, which is 20 centimeters. And that is where we will stop today. If you have understood the video properly, do not forget to like, subscribe. Thank you so much.